Doulos, a willing bondservant who stays with the master whom he loves. Doulos, here to disciple, train, and place Christian servant leaders. Doulos is changing the world, one life at a time.
I think that I was like a lot of college students, in the late 60s, early 70s. I was really searching. And ironically, the one place that I was convinced the answers couldn't be found were in Christianity, primarily because I didn't have a clue what Christianity was.
I shared all those deeply profound theological thoughts like, God loves you,
That's
Bob,
right.
and you're sinful. And you kept thinking, what is this?
I kept thinking, well, what's that got to do with what I just said, And then later, I think I really realized that you were very systematically planting seeds of truth when the time finally came where I really was open to answers that I don't think I would have been open to at that point in time. I knew where to come, and that's really when you and I began to be friends, and you began to really invest your life in me.
It's so interesting to see how that the whole concept of doulos kind of grew out of that experiment, in a sense of, we've got all these kids that have come to Christ, hundreds of them. We have no leadership. We trained the leadership, and then you and 6 other guys, or 5 other guys, moved in with me that summer.
You had said, I would really like to try and do a discipleship ministry, but really a live-in, 24 hours a day, live together, work together, study together. And of course, that first summer when we moved in together, that was really I think the beginning of the whole concept. And it's pretty amazing that given how bizarre we were that first summer, that there ever was a second summer.
Yeah, it was such a...
Just really, I just asked God, I said, what do you want me to do with my life? And so I took a year off to come to Doulos and to find out really some direction for my life. But that year was, it was the best year of my life, obviously, because I met my wife here. And really, my goal for that year was just to be myself.
One of the interesting things about your year there was that you managed to snag maybe the all-time gal that ever went through Doulos as your wife.
Well, I was afraid to kiss her because I was afraid that, really, I never kissed her till I asked her to marry me, so, because I was afraid God was going to strike me down and kill me, because I really thought that too, because you thought that and everybody else thought that she was such a godly woman, and she still is today, even with 4 boys.
Okay, now I'm going to drive.
Well, what really attracted me to Doulos was a desire to know God better, to be discipled. I was at a point where I've been born again only 2 years and had a deep desire to know God and what it means to be discipled. And after a lot of hard praying and seeking, God led me to Doulos.
I was really thankful that God led me here in the first place.
I found that true in my own life. I can really relate to that.
In a year-long program, post-college men and women prepare to live as committed servants of Christ. But it's more than just teaching. Discipleship and growing through the routine circumstances of life, in Doulos, lives are changing.
It's been the real backbone of this whole program, of the whole Doulos program, is just how God uses different people in our lives to just the whole iron sharpening iron, and the Barnabas is here and has been the key part of my time here, definitely.
This is the inner city, where the average child grows up without a dad and mom struggles to make ends meet. Doulos is here to show the love of Christ to junior and senior high kids who need to know that there is another way. Doulos, making a difference, one child at a time. Investing, caring, and helping with the healing, Doulos men and women are big brothers and big sisters to troubled teens. For both, it's a time of challenge, stretching, and changing. Life on life, one day at a time.
When Mary came to us, she wasn't quite as angry as some of the kids. No. She was in the stage of giving up. Yeah. Didn't seem to care about anything. But she has, and academically she was awful. She didn't care about school any more than she did about whatever happened to her in life. Attitude-wise, now I see basically just a happy, friendly young lady.
When you look at 7 or 10 or 15, young college graduates sitting in a room going through the program, it's just impossible, to even envision what's going to happen out of that group of lives as they move out and multiply ministries.
Consider spending a year of your life in Doulos and preparing yourself, giving yourself a foundation to invest for the kingdom for eternity.